Hello everyone, thank you for coming and enduring this very cold evening to help get our voices heard. The university's UK guidance of external speakers, as you've heard from other speakers as well, says that side-by-side segregation is okay. So as long as women don't sit in the back of the room, but they are segregated alongside other men, it's fine. It's separate but equal. Isn't that what the racist apartheid regime of South Africa said when it was criticized that black and white people are separate but equal? We knew then, as we know now, that separate is never equal. Segregation is never applied to those who are considered equal. It's always and only applied to those who are deemed to be unequal. In this case, superior men versus inferior women. Universities UK says there's too much fuss over a hypothetical case study. This is far from hypothetical. We have at least 20 universities across Britain that have already allowed segregated meetings.
For shame.
For shame, really.
Okay.
University College of London, Leicester University, Northampton University. What Universities UK is doing is institutionalizing this gender apartheid. The Universities UK, in response to our protest, says that they are merely highlighting a university's legal obligations. Thank you very much. What about the obligations to gender equality? Isn't it typical how they often use rights language to endorse misogyny and inequality? UUK says they need to accommodate all views. Really? What if a BNP speaker said that it was their deeply held beliefs that the room should be segregated between black people and white people? Would it be accommodated? Of course, people have a right to their beliefs. But no one has a right to impose their beliefs on others, particularly not at universities and public spaces. Also, Muslims are not a homogeneous bunch. What about the many Muslims or those from Muslim descent who oppose segregation, who have died fighting against segregation, Sharia law and the veil in the Middle East and North Africa?
By great.
Yes, exactly. If it was part of my eyes are really bad, guys. I'm getting too old now. If it was actually part of Muslims' beliefs, how come there are Muslims on buses, on the underground, going into their workplaces via non-segregated, doors? How come they're sitting in non-segregated cafes? And how the hell are they going to get through the university entrance and walk amongst all these different men and women to get to that segregated hall that Universities UK has so kindly arranged for them? What UUK is doing is not defending the rights of Muslims, but it is endorsing the Islamist demand at the expense of Muslims and others. Islamic Education Research Academy is one such group. They welcomed UUK's guidance. Of course they did. They are pro the death penalty for apostates and homosexuals. They are pro stoning, and they are pro sex segregation. Sex segregation is the continuation of Islamist demands to make women invisible. Clearly, whilst people have a right to their beliefs, the manifestation of beliefs is a very different matter. What UUK is doing is kowtowing to Islamists, which targets women, which is carrying out, as we speak, a war against women. We refuse. We refuse. We will rally against them. We have a petition now that has over 8,000 signatories, and we are establishing the sex apartheid busters, and we invite you all to join. Not on our watch is another university going to be segregated in this country. Not on our watch.
Yay!
Today, International Human Rights Day. Today, when the world commemorates the beloved Nelson Mandela, we remind Universities UK, we remind the National Union of Students that endorsed this absurd guidelines, and we remind those Islamists and all their apologists that sex apartheid is a thing of the past. We have warned them. I just want to also remind you that this fight is a fight, as other speakers have mentioned, a fight that's taking place all over the world. Here you see some photographs of men who have worn women's clothing in Iranian Kurdistan in order to defend women. This is in response to the Iranian regime's parading those it considers criminals in women's clothing around the city because it says that there is no greater humiliation than being a woman. And therefore men have dressed up as women and said being a woman is not a source of humiliation or punishment. That is what we say today. And like the women who go to football matches in Iran, the women are banned, dressed as men's clothing. I say dress as men, dress as women, break sex apartheid. Today is the last day that there will ever be a segregated hall in the UK. We have to decide on that and move forward. Thank you.
Yay!